Good morning. In this video, we'll be reviewing the free 4-day split for intermediates, upper, lower, full body by Natural Hypertrophy. And I have to say, my bias towards this guy is growing because in this video, he's literally doing exactly what I'm doing, which is sitting in front of a camera with a laptop. But he's actually doing way better than me because he's doing it in a gym, whereas I'm just doing it in my room. But yeah, let's jump into the program, which, holy, is a whole wall of text. I wonder why. Okay. Let me just try and understand this program a little bit. Oh, so these are... Okay, these are all supersets, or even giant sets. That's why it's such a wall of text. So we have Monday upper body. Bench or dips, 4 to 8 sets, 4 to 8 reps, 3 to 5 sets. Supersetted to bench or dip variation. I wonder what his notation here means. He's got a, what's it called, a semicolon, where it's the dot and the comma. I wonder if that's a choice. This is a crazy program to read. This is not the greatest layout here. Plus chin-ups and reps. So I'm assuming each line is a different superset, except it's not. So maybe these are... Maybe is this all one big giant set? Is that why I'm suffering? I'm very confused. This program is almost defeating me. This is the first time this has happened. What is happening? Anyone in the comments? Okay, I'm just going to try and read through this as best as I can. This is... Yeah, I wish this was written out a little bit better. To be fair, maybe he explains it in the video, but this is a little painful. Bench or dips, 4 to 8 reps, 3 to 5 sets. Bench or dip variation, close grip bench or vertical torso pause dips, 6 to 10 reps, 4 sets. Plus chin-ups, AMRAP superset. Pendlay rows or seal rows, plus barbell shrugs, AMRAP, plus skull crushes, 8 to 12. Overhead press, 4 to 8, plus easy bar curls, plus chin-ups. I think that I maybe understand what's going on here. I think that the semicolons designate the end between the sets, between the supersets. So maybe it's no superset, just bench or dips, 4 to 8 reps, 3 to 5 sets, which I love. Strength work, nice, 4 to 8 reps, good rep range, and 3 to 5 sets, which I like because it allows you to progress in sets as well, which is fantastic. So I'm assuming that's just our first set. We just do it on its own, which is good. Then we superset a bench or dip variation, which is our close grip bench or vertical torso dip, 6 to 10, with chin-ups, which is good. I think that's a fantastic superset. Chin-ups are not going to affect your bench or dip variation too much, especially if you do dips. A lot of... sorry, get my dogs out of this frame. I apologize for that. A lot of gyms will have the chin-up station in the exact same place where you can do dips. So it's a very convenient superset. And I think 6 to 10 reps is good, and I think 4 sets is good. So that's totally fine. Then we move to Pendlay rows or seal rows. It is interesting that he's got an option here because those are very different exercises. A Pendlay row is upper back, but a whole bunch of posterior chain. And a seal row basically is the opposite. It's just up back and no posterior chain because you're supported. I think seal rows are better. I really like seal rows, but the problem is that most gyms it's pretty hard to set up a seal row. So you probably end up doing Pendlay rows here. But yeah, I just want to point out they're very different exercises. 8 to 12 reps, 4 sets. Supersetted to barbell shrugs, AMRAP. Supersetted to skull crushes. So this is a giant set then. And not a bad giant set either, actually. The one thing I would say is that if you're doing Pendlay rows and then supersetted to shrugs, you may find your traps really fatigue on the rows. But maybe that's what he wants. Maybe we're trying to focus the traps here. So that's totally fine. Barbell shrugs, AMRAP. I don't love that because then AMRAP with what weight, right? I could select 10 kgs and AMRAP 50 reps. So I wish he told us actually how many, gave us a rep range there. And then superset to skull crushes. I think skull crushes are a great exercise. Can get a little elbowy, a little tendinitis. But it kind of depends on you. If they're good for you, they're good for you. So that's our giant set there. I think that's a good giant set. Relatively convenient giant set because assuming you're doing your Pendlay rows in the squat rack, you can then just quickly move over a bench there to do your skull crushes, or you can even do them standing. And then you can just you quickly take the bar and do your barbell shrugs with it. So it's a very convenient superset. You've got the bar for your rows, you can just do shrugs. So that's great. I like that. Then we move on to our next superset. I figured out his notation now. The semicolons indicate a break between supersets. Then we move on to our next superset, which is overhead press supersetted to easy bar curls or dumbbell curls, supersetted to chin-ups. Yeah, that's good. Overhead press is 4 to 8 reps, which I think is a great amount of reps for overhead press. Just good quality strength work. 3 to 5 sets I like being able to progress in sets. I think is excellent. Easy bar curls is a good bicep exercise. I like how this guy. Most people seem to ride barbell curls, whereas I think easy bar curls are just better for most people. And then supersetted that to or dumbbell curls. I like how he's giving you that option. So if you prefer dumbbell curls, you can superset it to chin ups. So the chin ups, because you've just done biceps as part of that superset or that giant set, your biceps is going to be really cooked. So you actually may find you fail your chin ups at the biceps, which is fine if that's what we want. So I don't mind that at all. And it says AMRAP, and I like that because yeah, your amount of reps here might be quite lower than you would normally do, just because you're cooked from a giant set. So why not just say as many as you can? And then finisher, abs AMRAP, supersetted to face pulls, supersetted to lateral raises, as many as possible. I think that this is good. I've actually recently myself been doing the lateral raise face pull superset, and it's interesting because face pulls, if you do them just on their own, they're quite red delts, even a little bit of traps if you get a big stretch. But then when you superset them with side raises or lateral raises, they basically just turn into side delt isolation, which is fine. It's a good side delt exercise, but it does give you a little bit of red delts as well. So I like this finisher. I just wish he would tell us which ab exercise he wants us to do. Because it just says abs AMRAP, but that could be anything. There's some real shit ab exercise out there, and there's some really good ones. So I wish he would tell us what he wants us to do, but other than that, this is good. This, I will say, is a big, hard day. So many supersets, so many giant sets. You're going to be cooked after this day. Like, not just muscle-wise, but you're going to be cooked like in your soul, you're tired, you know. But with that said, it does say for intermediates, it's not for beginners, and it's definitely survivable. And you may find you actually kind of enjoy this style of training. The one other thing I'll say with all these supersets and giant sets is if you're in a busy gym, this might be impossible. But with that said, he's chosen relatively reasonable supersets, like as in like stuff that you can kind of move around, and he's not supersetting like lat pull down with calf raise, and you got to like run between machines and stuff. So I think this is pretty good. Then we move to Tuesday, which is our lower body day. Squat 4 to 8, 3 to 5 sets. Beautiful. Yep, love that. Good amount of sets, progressing up through sets if you need it. A good amount of reps, a nice rep range you can progress through. Strength work. But 8 with that set is like 8's enough reps on squats. You don't need to do any more than that. And 4 is a good lower end as well. So love that. Then we go to squat variation, 6 to 10 reps, 4 sets. So just a bit of extra volume now. And by variation, I'm assuming he means like a pause squat or something, which is good. I like that. And then I think 6 to 10 reps is great for that, bit of extra volume, and 4 sets. So assuming we did 5 sets, like we went on the top end for our squats, we've now done 9 sets of squats, which is possibly too many, but then that's your own fault if you did 5. So like you could have done 3, and then you would have done 7 total sets, which is way better. So yeah, I like that, no problem. And that squat variation is supersetted to pull-ups, AMRAP. Fine, no problem. A lot of gyms, like mine, have the pull-up bar at the squat rack, so you could just, like, it's very convenient superset, you don't have to go anywhere. And pull-ups aren't going to affect your squat, so why not superset? That's totally fine. Then we go deadlift variation, RDLs or straight leg deadlifts or hyperextensions, supersetted to cone grip or plate or dumbbell grip superset. Okay, no, I like this. So we are supersetting deadlifts or a deadlift variation. Oh no, it just says deadlift variation, so not conventional deadlifts. Which is great. I think it's a great way of doing a leg day. Do some heavy knee flexion like a squat, and then some heavy hip extension like a deadlift variation. I like how he said RDLs are straight leg deadlifts. I wish he'd also said straight leg RDLs, but I think that's kind of implied that you could do that if you wanted. Or hyperextensions, which is interesting to give that as an option. I think those are a little more calm for a lot of people than deadlifts. And then superset to some forearms, which I think is great. The only thing I'd say is make sure you have grips for this. Because if you don't have grips, you're going to find that your grip is going to fatigue so much on the deadlifts, you'll be limited by that. But assuming you have grips or straps or whatever, then this is going to be a great superset. So that's awesome. Oh, and that's the end. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, we finished with abs, superset to calves, superset to pull-ups. That's a lot of pull-ups, because we already did pull-ups. It's an interesting style of programming. I've not really seen this much before, where you do the same exercise again later on in the workout. I don't love that. I wish that was swapped out to something else. I'll maybe say what I would want that swapped out to once I've finished reviewing the program. But abs and calves, that's awesome. I like that. I think abs and calves is an absolute classic superset. You can do them together so easily. They don't fatigue you much. I really like that. Only thing I would say is I wish he would tell us what ab exercise he wants us to do. And yeah, I wouldn't do pull-ups as part of that giant set. I'd do something else just because we already did pull-ups. Then we go Thursday full body. Shall we have a little look here? We start with deadlift, 4 to 8 reps, 3 to 5 sets. Yeah, I think that's fantastic. I think that's great rep range for deadlifts, heavy strength work, and I like the set progression as well. I would say 5 sets, yeah, it's probably the top end of what you'd want to do. So I think that's a good set progression. Then we squat variation 8 to 12. So it's some proper volume now on the squat. I like that. 4 sets as well. I think that's awesome. Yeah, that's good. I like that on the squat. We suited out the pull-ups. This guy loves his pull-ups. I like pull-ups as well, to be fair, but this is a lot. But totally fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. Why not? Why not superset? I think pull-ups and squats is a good superset because you don't really need the lats or anything when you squat. So why not? Then we go to bench or dips plus chin-ups and AMRAP superset. Yeah, okay. Only thing I'd say with this is kind of a gym convenience thing, where a lot of the time the bench might not be near the pull-up station, so you have to reserve both if you're trying to do giant sets, or supersets, I should say. But it is a good superset, I think. But chin-ups are unlikely to affect you much on the bench and vice versa, other than just general fatigue. Which, to be fair, the general fatigue of this program would be pretty high just because you're doing a lot. Then we go overhead press, superset the skull crushers, or behind the neck dumbbell extensions. I don't like this superset that much, just because the overhead press is very tricep dominant, and if you're doing tricep at the same time, you'll probably find you start to fail the overhead press at the triceps, which is not ideal. You're trying to fail it at the shoulders. So I don't love that superset. I wish we'd chosen something else to superset there. Then we go weighted pull-ups, 4 to 8 reps, 3 to 5 sets, or pendlay rows, or cone rows, or seal rows, plus chin-ups. What? Okay, I hate this. Wow. Okay, I don't like this at all. This is crazy. Why are we doing this? We've already done pull-ups earlier today. Now we're going to go to weighted pull-ups. Surely that's the wrong order. We're going to be tired from our normal pull-ups, and then we're going to go do weight. That doesn't make sense to me at all. And then we're going to superset that. But the other crazy thing is what it says, or pendlay rows, or cone rows, or seal rows. But those are not the same. A vertical pull and a horizontal pull are not the same. And we've already done so much vertical pulling. Surely we should just do horizontal pulling here. So I really hate that he's included weighted pull-ups as one of our options here, because it's not the same as the others. All of these others are rows, and pull-ups are a vertical pull. So having them as an option to swap is crazy to me, especially because we've already done pull-ups on this day. It's such an odd order. Why would you do... It's like doing like a light bench early in the day, and then later on, like half an hour later, coming back and doing heavy bench. It doesn't make sense. And then you're supersetting that to chin-ups, which is insane, because say you chose the weighted pull-ups, then you're going to do chin-ups right afterwards. I guess you could call it like a mechanical drop set. You drop a weight off, you switch to an easier grip, and you do more reps. But like the amount of vertical pulling is insane. I would say get rid of a weighted pull-ups as an option. Get rid of a chin-up superset and just do like an actual row here. Just do a normal row, and you can superset it with something else if you want, like abs or some shit, if you really like the supersets. But yeah, I am not a fan of that at all. I really hate the idea of going back and doing heavy pull-ups after you've done light pull-ups. And supersetting those with chin-ups. That's so much vertical pulling. Then we finish with abs plus calves plus grip. Yeah, I think that's a great giant set to finish off the day. No worries there. I think abs, like I said, abs and calves are a classic superset. And why not work in some grip as well? Like, it's going to take, it's literally going to take you 15 seconds, it says here. And I think that's going to be really good. Forearm growth is great. And of course, the other thing as well is that it's going to actually help you with your other lifts, especially if you don't have straps yet. So, not bad, not a good way to finish that Thursday, but I hate that weighted pull-ups, and I think that's got to go. Then we go Saturday, our last day. Squat 4 to 8, 3 to 5 sets. No problem there. We have squatted 3 days in a row, but yeah, we squatted 3 days in a row, but that's kind of fine. Squats are something that you can do often, and I think they're so useful and so productive that you kind of want to do them often, so that's fine. 4 to 8 reps, so we're back to our original rep range from the Tuesday, and back to our set range from Tuesday as well. So basically just a repeat of Tuesday in terms of the squat. Then we go to... Interesting that he doesn't superset that first exercise of the day. I guess he's really prioritizing that as strength work. Then we go deadlift, variation 8 to 12. So I'm assuming you probably just choose a different variation to what you did earlier in the week. Maybe you did Romanians earlier in the week, now you're going to do stiff leg. Superset it to pull-ups. So many pull-ups in this program, man. We're doing like a bajillion pull-ups every single day, vertical pulling. And I think I said this on Monday, I don't like supersetting pull-ups to deadlifts just because you need your lats to stabilize you on a deadlift to keep you in position. So you may find that if you do pull-ups on the same, like as a superset to your deadlifts suffer. And especially because it's deadlift variation, I presume we're trying to do this for hamstrings or glutes. So you don't want to be failing at the lats, you know. Then we go bench or dips, supersetted to chin-ups. Oh my fucking god, there's so many pull-ups and chin-ups in this program. This is a good superset in the sense that like dips and chin-ups I think superset really well. We talked about it's convenient, they're normally in the same place, and they kind of go together. But at this point, we've done so many sets of vertical pulling. You've already done pull-ups for as many reps as possible. So you're already fatigued. I mean, you're going to go straight into chin-ups for as many reps as possible. And the previous day, you may have done weighted pull-ups and regular pull-ups and chin-ups. So I'm not a huge fan of that exercise selection, just in terms of I think we've done too much. Then we go overhead press, superset to skull crushers. Once again, the same problem with that as I had on, like, because we did the same thing the previous day. I just don't like overhead press supersetted to triceps, just because you're going to fail at the triceps on the overhead press. Also, I'm not a huge fan. We're basically doing the same thing here. Now that I look at it as the previous day. I guess it's been but we did have a Friday to rest. But it is interesting to do overhead press and skull crushers again. Oh my god. Oh my god. We're doing weighted pull-ups again. This guy is obsessed with pull-ups. I mean, I like pull-ups. I love pull-ups, but this is insane. We're doing weighted pull-ups. Once again, he gives you the option of weighted pull-ups or rows or pendlay rows or cone rows or seal rows. But those are not the same exercise. Those rows are horizontal pulls and the pull-up is a vertical pull. You cannot give people an option between them because they're not the same. It's like me asking you, like it's the end of the day and you need like some food and I'm like, oh, do you want chicken breast or orange? It's like they're not the same. They're totally different options. You know, you can't be swapping them back and forth. And this is insane. I've already said my piece on this, but why are we doing weighted pull-ups after we've already done chin-ups, regular chin-ups, and regular pull-ups? It's like I said before, it's like going to imagine you do a super light squat early in the day, you do 5 sets of 10 on a squat, and then you come back later that same day and do 5 sets of 4. It's just so much. And then we're supersetting that 2 chin-ups. So we've already done chin-ups and AMRAP superset earlier today, and a pull-up AMRAP superset earlier today, and weighted pull-ups. So if I actually count this up in a single day, we're doing pull-ups for an AMRAP, chin-ups for an AMRAP, weighted pull-ups, and then chin-ups for another AMRAP. So we've now done 4 separate instances of vertical pulling in a single day, and all the same as well, all pull-ups. Then we finish with, so that's just way too much, I hate that. Then we finish with abs, calves, grip work, and push-ups. If you chose not to do bench or dips that day, as many as possible. It's a big giant set to finish, but I don't hate it. You're just going to be very tired. But I don't hate it. It's a good giant set to finish, but none of those things really affect each other. Oh my god. Then we have Sunday. I didn't even see this at the end here. Sunday, high volume pull-ups. Why? Literally the day before, you did 4 different instances, not 4 sets, 4 different instances of multiple sets of pull-ups. You probably, just the previous day, you did 15 sets of pull-ups. Why are you doing high volume pull-ups again? Then high volume push-ups. I mean, sure, we already did them the day before, but that's fine. High volume abs. Once again, we did it the day before, but you can spam abs. Plate carries and high volume trap. High volume hyperextensions. High volume traps, I suppose, is good because we haven't really done much traps other than one day on Monday, which actually doesn't make tons of sense because this is Sunday, which is the day before Monday, so we're kind of doing traps and then traps. High volume hyperextensions. I wish he would program. He says high volume, but I wish he would program what he means by that because high volume could be very different for different people. Like I might do 500 push-ups and some other Chad might do a whole bunch. My TV just done, which is scared the shit out of me. Yeah, terrified me. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. This is an odd program. It's so many supersets, and I think he's just kind of got a little bit lost in all the supersets because he just wrote pull-ups so often. I think we're doing well though. We've done a lot of abs. We've done forearms. We've done we've done abs, we've done forearms. We've done traps. We've got vertical pushing. We've got horizontal pulling. We've got triceps. We've got everything we need in this program. But I think he could just gone to the vibe of wanting to program a million supersets, which is fine. But we're just doing too many pull-ups, and we don't have any, because all the time we do horizontal pulls, we have an option of doing more pull-ups, which means that actually in this whole program you could do no horizontal pulling at all, which is crazy to me. I think he really needs to just make this program better. I actually like this program, especially if you're the sort of guy who likes supersets and likes working hard at the gym. I would just get rid of, I would get rid of every time there's an option to do weighted pull-ups or horizontal pulling, I would just do horizontal pulling, and I would get rid of the superset of that horizontal pulling to chin-ups, and maybe just put something else there if you still want a superset. Because yeah, there's 50 million sets of chin-ups and pull-ups in this program, too many. And that's not even including the high volume pull-ups that you're supposed to be doing on Sunday. I think overall, yeah, you could be doing like 50 sets of pull-ups a week if you're not careful with this program. But other than that, I like it. We start each day with heavy compounds. The other big problem I had was the supersetting of the triceps with vertical pushing. I don't think you should do that, just because you're going to be limited at the triceps. So overall, this is an interesting program. It's not terrible. It's just odd. It's one of the weirder programs I reviewed. I mean, you saw me at the start. It took me a minute to even figure out the notation. And then it's just so many chin-ups and so many pull-ups. I guess if someone really told you that you have like shitty lats, you need to get your shit together, then maybe this would be the program, but I don't know. And also just for me, I honestly think that if you told me to do weighted pull-ups after I've already done a chin-up superset, a chin-up as many reps as possible, and a pull-up as many reps as possible, if you told me to do weighted pull-ups, I wouldn't be able to. I literally don't think I'd be able to. I think I'd probably get like 3 normal pull-ups. Yeah, I don't know. Up and down this program, up and down. Hopefully you enjoyed that review. If you've ever run this program, let me know what you think, because this is a lot. Yeah, let me know what you think. All right, have a good rest of your day.